Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Hudson. Welcome back. This is part 2 of how to run an awesome brainstorming session. So I'll just go through about 5 or 6 tips again, and if you follow these, I guarantee you'll run a wonderful session. If you're facilitating this session, sometimes we have a plan, and I like to have a plan so we can think through the brainstorming session. But my golden rule is go where the energy goes. So if you do an activity and there's lots of energy around it, stay with it. Don't sort of cut it off and move on to something else, because that's where the creativity comes from, the energy, the interaction, the fun, people sparking ideas off one another. And conversely, if there's no energy, move on to the next activity. Now, if I was working with a bigger group, I'd break down the bigger group into pods of smaller groups. And then you can compare and contrast the ideas between the different pods. That's a really effective way, rather than one big group. A hint, if you've got a lot of extroverts, or quite dominant people, I always put them in their own group. And then they can spend all their time dominating one another, and then it creates some freedom for everyone else. Evaluate as you go. I know this is a bit controversial, but sometimes if you leave it to the end, you run out of time, or you might leave it to a subcommittee, and if you've contributed an idea, I think it's good to evaluate the idea. So what I do is about halfway through the session, I say, okay, what are the good ideas? What are the ideas that are not quite right? And what are the original ideas? And then you can get the groups to focus on the original ideas and then try and get them over to the good ones. Every session should end with some clear actions, responsibilities, and some pathways to move forward, so that everyone walks away feeling good. Now, don't forget to thank everyone in the group, and most importantly, send out the notes as soon as you can. The problem is if you leave it for weeks and weeks, you lose momentum and people lose their understanding of what the ideas are about. So as soon as the session finishes, get the material out, and you'll have people wanting to come back again and again. Thank you.